Yeah, yeah, we like that. Telling people that phony water is back. Like that. Telling people that phony water is back. Like that.
You are tuned into the W Show on Sideline Sports Talk Network and 100.1 FM, Kansas City. Live from Radio Row in San Francisco, California. Brought to you by Gates Barbecue, the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, Dillard Zona Rosa, the Soul of Santa, Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services, and Wood Nissan.
All right, back here live on Radio Row. We've had a bunch of guests coming through today. We also have another amazing guest, Mr. Fred Anthony Smith, who's with Smack Entertainment. And you're talking about a new docuseries that you have called the Michael Vick Experience.
Oh, there it is. Coach Vick Experience.
Coach Vick Experience.
Coach Vick.
Coach Vick Experience.
Tonight on BET. And it's funny that you mentioned the Michael Vick Experience. You know, some of us of a certain age remember that commercial.
Remember that, yeah.
Little homie in the thing, and you know, and he was doing the Michael Vick Experience. And you know, very early on, Mike's wife, who's co-star of this and who's an executive producer, she took him to the side and she's like, "Look, this ain't the Michael Vick Experience."
Yeah, okay.
She's like, "This is different. It's like you can't get out there. It's Coach Vick Experience."
Yeah.
You know, kind of level setting and letting them know it's going to be different.
Yeah.
And it was different. It was different. Dealing with kids now is different than dealing with kids 20 years ago.
Of course.
And you know, NIL and portal and all of these things that you know they're part of the game now. It was him navigating that, but also as a first-time head coach. He's never been a head coach before.
Yeah.
So it's documenting all of that, and we're excited. They completely opened up their doors, opened up their lives. School was great. Opened up the school campus, and we think we have something special.
And talk about just the being a part of, because he's at a HBCU.
Yes.
And when we had Everson Walls on, he went to Grambling State, and he just talked about that you know, HBCUs are being highlighted, but not enough.
Yeah.
So just talk about the fact that you guys were able to do that.
Anytime we can do this, you know, I think it's important. You know, the fact that you guys, I mentioned, I heard Negro League baseball. When the intro happened, and anytime we can document our history, document our institutions, especially now when there's so much is being attacked, we've got to do it. And you know, we did 3 seasons of Coach Prime before we did this show, and you know, Michael, knowing that he wanted to be a coach one day, he didn't know it was going to be this soon, but knowing he wanted to be a coach one day, he actually went and spent some time with Deion.
Yeah.
Because Deion's been a champion of Michael, you know, ever since Michael was playing.
Sure.
He went and spent some time with Deion. They talked, and Deion was like, "Time is now.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be later. You don't have to, you know, quote unquote, pay your dues and go do this and coordinator and position coach." He's like, if you feel it in your heart, you feel it's your calling, you know, it will present itself, and time will be now. And sure enough, a couple months later, he had 2 offers, one at Norfolk State, another at the PWI.
Wow.
He chose Norfolk State. He wanted to go home, but he also wanted to give back. And you know, that other offer was financially a little bit more lucrative, had more resources, but he felt it was important for him to at least start his career at an HBCU.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, frankly speaking, a lot of black coaches really don't get that opportunity, you know, for a university that big without having the experience. Is there certain things that you learned working on the Coach Prime series that helped prepare you for this one?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, starting Coach Prime at Jackson State and then moving to Colorado, you know, those first couple of years at Jackson, you know, there was definitely some similarities between Norfolk. Just as far as, you know, having a community that was so, as soon as Michael walked in, and look, it's a little bit different with Michael versus Deion, because at least Michael had roots, you know, in the Virginia area. That's basically his home school. But, you know, the way that Deion was embraced in Jackson, the way that the state of Virginia embraced Michael, it was really cool to see. But there are challenges. You know, the challenges at HBCUs, the challenges at small schools. The Power Fives, you know, have that advantage. So dealing with those challenges, especially, you know, Michael having played at Virginia Tech, Prime having played at Florida State, they got to Jackson State and Norfolk, and they're like, this ain't Florida State, and this ain't Virginia Tech. You know, so it was eye-opening for both of them. But having gone through that process before with Deion, production-wise, we were able to, you know, to be ahead of some things.
Definitely.
But also, I mean, Dion is in the first episode. Dion pops up throughout the series.
Really?
Because, Mike is FaceTiming Dion.
Yeah.
He's like, before the first game, he's like, look, man, he's like, what advice do you have? I've had some challenges already, dealing with kids that can't get to practice and, don't know how to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Because that's a huge part of college coaching, too. It's like you're dealing with teenagers, basically.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
So it's him also in that role. It's like, man, these are pro athletes. It's like, I'm dealing with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it's not X's and O's. It's not what's on the field. It's these guys, figuring out how to do laundry. It's like that sort of stuff.
You're the parent at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think that Mike Vick being so close to home, you think that he's seen an influx of recruiting or kids trying to go to the school just to be around Mike Vick and be a part of that journey with him?
Yeah, we definitely see some of that. And what's interesting, and something he told me, not too long ago, he was like, when he took the job, the process had already started for the next season. So I think the first portal had already opened. So he was playing catch up by the time he took the job. So he's like, during the season, he's like, if I get a chance to do this again, I know that I'll have a full off season to really put my stamp on things, bring in some players, and I think you're going to see that. Look, we saw it with Dion, we saw it in Colorado and also at Jackson State, and you see that just in the way that these kids interact with him. Like there's a scene in the first episode where kid like defensive line kind of gets together like, man, can you believe we playing for Michael Vick? I'm thinking, man, you guys too young to see Mike play. And I actually told one of them that. He's like, yeah, but man, we seen the YouTube, we seen the highlights. We know that's different.
Do you think that Mike Vick's status is going to help bring more resources, basically financially, to help out some of these HBCUs get more recognition?
Yeah, we're already seeing it. We're already seeing it at Norfolk State. We saw it at Jackson State with Dion. Delaware State with Deshaun and Mike played this year, which was an amazing event.
Did you guys get that?
He was there.
Okay.
And when me and Deshaun go back to, I know Deshaun since he was at Cal, so seeing those guys full circle, and it's interesting. I talked about Vic going out and seeing Dion, but like I said, Deshaun went out to see Dion.
Yeah, okay.
These guys are going to talk to their mentors. That's what we should. We should talk to our unks, and we should talk to people that came before us, and seeing Deshaun and Michael at the link play, in an NFL stadium with Cam there and Marshawn there, and you're seeing all these people that are there. That's a moment.
Definitely.
And before we get you out of here, how can people, watch the documentary?
BET.
Okay.
BET
BET.
episodes
Okay.
tonight.
Yes.
What's today? Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday. Yeah.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Until we out of episodes, and hopefully we get a second season. But 8 episodes. And I will say this also before I leave, because I got to say this. Michael's wife Kiafa is amazing. Like she's the second character.
Yeah.
And the thing that's unique about this versus something like a Hard Knocks or even Coach Prime is that it's almost equal part family show. It's like they have a kid who just got out of college, they have a kid that's in college, they have one that's a senior in high school getting ready for college, and they got a little 7-year-old like a little homie from Fresh Prince that pops up. So it's almost like they're the Banks family, But and his mom's there, and seeing the mom because he's a mama's boy, so seeing the mom there and inserting herself,
I like that.
It's like a family show, so I think people are gonna respond to that too.
Definitely gonna tune in tonight on BET.
Yeah, and is there the last question? But is there in your 15 years of writing and directing and things, is there anybody that mentored you like Dion does with Vic?
Wow. So what's interesting? Like I've had people. It's interesting. Not necessarily, and there's been people that, from the director standpoint, and writing and show running standpoint that have, kind of come to your life at the right time and help guide you. Some of my mentors have been other athletes. I've just been around athletes so long. Yeah. So, I got to spend a lot of time with Jim Brown and his wife before Jim died. And, and Jim was somebody that was there and was all. The right things, Doug Williams, somebody that I've gotten to know over the years doing projects with him, and just being able to give you the right kind of word at the right time,
Yeah.
Definitely.
We definitely appreciate you giving us some of your time.
Thank you so much.
We'll make sure we tune in until all of
Tune in,
our
everybody.
viewers and listeners to tune
Please.
in. The Coach Vic Experience. We'll be back here live from Radio Row.
Opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.